Hello and welcome back to DGeek, your handy guide for all you need to know about working food delivery in the UK. This episode is going to guide you through the process of becoming a self-employed courier. We will cover a little bit about the industry, what you need to get started, and the application process right up until you make your first delivery. This episode is going to be very information heavy as I've tried to cover the whole process from start to finish. Hopefully after this video you should be armed with the knowledge you need to get out on the roads working. So let's start with the big three work providers, Just Eat, Uber Eats and Deliveroo. All three pretty much offer the same service but with some minor tweaks. According to startupsoflondon.com, Just Eat was the biggest player in the UK food delivery market with a 45% share as of 2021. It's a sector worth a staggering £12.1 billion and growing on average 6% every year. Just Eat remains the market leader with Uber Eats and Deliveroo in second and third place. The industry exploded into life during the pandemic in 2020, as many people were forced to stay at home. Delivery drivers, though, were classed as key workers, and the restaurant industry was able to keep trading despite the lockdowns. Tech companies old and new swooped in to scoop up this business, and although the competition has been fierce post-COVID, the industry still continues to perform well. It remains to be seen how the industry will evolve, especially given the tight economic conditions we're currently seeing. One thing is for sure though, I think they are here to stay. I doubt very much we'll return to an age where you can't order a Big Mac at 3 AM and have it delivered to your door in under 30 minutes. So now you have a small history of the industry, let's see what steps you need to do in order to get out there delivering. Step 1. It's all about you. Are you suitable for this type of work? Being a self-employed courier requires high motivation and a willingness to work unsocial and long hours. You'll be working alone and under your own initiative, so it pays to be able to think on your feet and deal with unexpected situations. As you will be self-employed, this means you won't have any of the usual benefits that come with standard employment. There is no holiday pay, so the amount of time you put in is going to dictate how much you earn. Other employment benefits such as pensions and redundancy pay are also not included. Instead, you will be paid a defined fee on a job-by-job basis. That's not to say it comes with zero perks though. In recent years there has been a significant pushback on companies to provide their workers with decent paying conditions. As a result, many providers now offer benefits to their delivery partners such as one-off maternity or paternity payments, payouts for death or serious injury which occurs whilst delivering, and public liability insurance should you accidentally damage someone's property. More recently, some of the work providers have been offering sickness payments if you're unable to work. There is a benchmark for the average number of deliveries you have previously completed to qualify. There is also limits on the amount you will receive and the time period for which you will receive it. You will need to have a right to work in the UK and you will be asked to prove this during the application process. If you are a British citizen, you can use either your passport, birth certificate, adoption certificate or a British citizen certificate. If you are non-UK national, you will need to prove your right to work in the UK with your immigration documents. If you need further details about what documents can be used to prove your right to work, I'll pop a link from the .gov website in the description for you to check out. Also, a clean criminal record is a must. The Disclosure and Barring Service Check, or DBS Check for short, will be completed during the application process. This is a service operated by the government to allow companies to run background checks on applicants and staff. The Big Three receive many hundreds of applications for riders each week, so there are no shortage of volunteers. This means those with criminal convictions are frequently kicked from the application process in favour of clean records. From what I've seen, those with convictions for violent crimes are most likely to be barred from the application process, although there is some chatter online about motoring convictions also causing applications to be denied. Finally, you will need to have a suitable mode of transport to complete your deliveries on. There are 4 types of vehicle you can use to work, and they are bicycles, e-bikes, motorbikes and cars. Please remember that it's currently illegal to use e-scooters in the UK on public highways and footpaths, and the Big Three delivery apps do not allow their riders to sign up with an e-scooter. If you do go out delivering on one of these scooters, you run the risk of receiving a hefty fine, having it confiscated by the police and potentially being out of pocket through lost earnings. Step 2. Signing up. So once you're happy you can meet all these previous requirements, the next thing you need to do is sign up with your chosen work provider or providers. It's worth knowing that you are not just limited to signing up with one supplier, and all of the big three state in their courier agreements that you are free to engage with other work providers. Make sure you're using the official website or app to sign up with and not giving your details to a third party or scammer. Once again, I'll provide some links in the description below so you can make sure you're using a genuine work provider. All of the applications for the big three are pretty similar and all managed online. You will be asked what area you wish to work and what type of vehicle you'll be using to complete your deliveries. Remember, you might not be able to complete your application right away, as Just Eat and Deliveroo are not always taking on new delivery drivers. There might be a wait of several months before you can complete the application process, and there have even been examples of people waiting years to get on a delivery platform in their area. There are no shortcuts sadly, and no way to speed up the process. It's simply a case of waiting your turn. Uber Eats is the exception, that provided they operate services in your area, they don't have a limit on how many riders or drivers can sign up with them. Please be aware, every Facebook group, Reddit community and online forum is packed with scammers promising you speedy applications, account recovery and software to boost earnings on delivery platforms. These are all scammers looking to prey on people usually in desperate situations looking for work. They have no access or influence to the application process, cannot reactivate a banned account and cannot adjust any fees offered to you by work providers. While the admins and moderators of online groups are valiantly defending and taking down these posts, they are facing a tidal wave of these online scammers. If you engage with these scammers, you will be burnt. At some point, you will be prompted to complete a DBS check during the application, which is managed by a separate company called Sterling. There is a cost associated with this, and up until recently, this used to be paid for by the delivery supplier. Now sadly, most new entrants wishing to sign up with the big three will need to pay for this cost up front, so please do bear this in mind when starting your application. The DBS check is there to see if you have any previous criminal records, and as explained earlier, this could determine if your application is successful or not. Step 3. Going live. So you've made it to the end game, you've sat in the queue for months, Sterling have given you a clean bill of health, and the powers that be are happy that you have the right to work in the UK. You can almost taste the pennies from your first delivery, but pump the brakes there buddy, there's still a couple of things you need to sort out before you can get on the roads. The major one is insurance, and in this case we are referring to hire and reward, which must include food delivery cover. It is a legal requirement to have this type of cover in order to perform food delivery. Now this only relates to motorcycle and car delivery drivers, but it is a legal requirement. If you're delivering on a bicycle or e-bike, then H&R insurance is not required. There are many providers of H&R insurance out there, so it pays to shop around and get the best deals. There is also the option of pay-as-you-go insurance provided by a company called Zego. Zego allows you to top up your balance, link your account to a work provider and then pay only for the hours that you work. This could be a great way to save some money, particularly if you're only doing a couple of hours each week. Costs for pay-as-you-go insurance start at 88 pence per hour, but depending on your insurance history can go as high as £1.88 per hour. It's important to note that you still need to have regular car insurance on your vehicle, and you will need to check with the insurance provider that they're happy for you to use top-up insurance provided by Zego when making deliveries. It's a bit of a hot topic here at the moment, as many insurers will not allow you to use top-up insurance, so please do check because you could be invalidating your insurance. Next on the list is getting your rider kit. All of the big three have their own branded thermal delivery bags, and the work providers require you to have one before you start delivering. Just Eat and Deliveroo both offer a free initial rider kit where you only pay for the shipping. It's a great way for the companies to get their brand out there and encourage their riders to have suitable equipment for the job. This is also a big plus point for those just starting up, as these bags can cost up to £40 depending on what you're looking for. Uber only seem to offer one type of bag, which is the backpack form, commonly worn by bike riders, but unfortunately this comes to you at full cost. My final note to remember is that you will be self-employed when performing this type of work, and as such responsible for completing a self-assessment tax return to HMRC each year. You will need to keep detailed records of your earnings and expenses, and this can be quite daunting if you've never completed one before. If you are unsure, I would thoroughly recommend hiring an accountant to complete this on your behalf. At the time of making this video, the government is currently working on legislation that will require work providers to disclose earnings on their delivery partners. This data will then be used by the HMRC to check against any self-assessments filed by delivery partners for discrepancies. Remember that willful tax evasion is a crime in the UK and can incur hefty fines and even a prison sentence. Full guides for signing up for self-assessment and completing a return can be found on the HMRC website. And that's it, you're all set and ready to get out there earning. Apologies for such a long video, we had a lot of ground to cover, and thank you if you made it this far. I do hope you found this video useful. If you have, please do drop a like and don't forget to subscribe. You guys stay safe out there, and I'll catch you next time.